Welcome to our very special show commemorating the 20th World Milk Day. Well, on 1st June 20 years ago, the World Milk Day was celebrated, and here we are today. The World Milk Day was established by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United States to recognize the importance of milk as a global food and to celebrate the dairy sector. Each year, since the benefits of milk and dairy products have been actively promoted around the world, including how dairy supports livelihoods. And in India, when you think of trusted milk and milk products, one of the foremost names that comes to mind is Nestle India. Present in India for over 100 years, Nestle has shared the goodness of wholesome and nutritious milk products with millions of families across the country and has received a lot of goodness in return. A company that continuously focuses its efforts towards providing better taste, nutrition, health and wellness to its consumers. All right, joining me right now is Mr. Suresh Narayanan, the Chairman and Managing Director of Nestle India Limited. Welcome to the show, sir. And my first question directly is, what's been Nestle's India story? And for you, what have been the biggest landmarks?
Thank you, Preeti. Thank you for having me on your show. Nestle has been a long and a very rich and a very rewarding and a very memorable saga in this country. We have been in India for 108 years. We started our manufacturing in 1961. We have 125,000 shareholders. We are a listed company in India. We are also a company that has been associated in every sense of the term of Make in India and Made for India. We deal with over 100,000 milk farmers, over 1,500 spice farmers. We deal with more than 3,500 coffee farmers, millions of retailers, millions of consumers. 99% of what we produce in India, we sell in India. Almost 100% of our employees are also Indian, starting from me. And therefore, it has been for us a very proud privilege to be serving Indians with products and brands that they love, like Maggi, like Milkmaid, like Everyday, like Nestle A+ Milk, and many, many brands, Kit Kat, Nescafe, Munch, you name it. We are very, very proud and very, very humbled also by the opportunity that we have had in this country.
Mr. Narayanan, Make in India is the new narrative where this country is moving towards. You just touched upon that on your own, in the last question. So what has been Nestle's contribution when we talk about Make in India?
Well, in every sense of the term, I think Nestle has been committed to India. When you have a relationship of more than a century, it calls for dedication, it calls for commitment, it calls for strong values and purpose, and it also calls for very, very strong resource basing and investments in the country. I think we have not only developed the community in the sense of the partnerships. I think for Nestle that is extremely important. When I talk about the 100,000 farmers in Punjab, in Moga, Preeti, these farmers we started in 1961 when the first day we collected about 511 kilograms of milk. About 50 odd farmers were there. And it was a very small operation. Today it has grown to 100,000 farmers. We have more than 1.2 million liters of milk being collected each day. Thanks to the efforts that has been put in, it has been truly a partnership. It is a partnership between the dairy farmers and between Nestle. Today we have developed, as a consequence of this in Moga, for example, a network of not just milk farmers, 100,000 of them, but also ancillary units. There are people who make cattle feed. Silage is important. There are people who are milk collection agents. There are numerous other food processing and milk processing industries that have come up. So there are rings that have been developed over the years in terms of the ecosystem. This ecosystem has created jobs, has created prosperity, has created sustainability, and has sustained the relationship Nestle has built part in almost 60 years of our existence there. Even today, Preeti, as I speak to you, the 100,000 farmers have been giving us milk ever since the COVID crisis began. Every single day, every single drop of milk has been collected by us and has been processed. Trustworthiness and commitment are important words in our dictionary. And I'm extremely proud of the relationship that we have built with these farmers. As I say, just as the pagdi is to the Sardar, the sign of respect, for Nestle India, Moga is our pagdi. It is our sign of respect, and it is our commitment that we have done to the communities in all these years. It is always humbling, it is always gratifying, but it is a journey that we are very, very happy and very, very proud to be on.
So, Mr. Narayanan, with what you said, what started off in 1961 in Moga, then developed into this massive milk economy.
Yes, in every sense of the word, what happened was that what started off as a supplement source of income actually spawned a lot of medium and large farmers. And interestingly, Preeti, what we had done at that stage, this was well before we talked about issues like of gender balance and diversity. We started a village women development program, to help the women in the village, also to help the family in dairy farming. Today, we have 78,000 women farmers. They are contributing also not only to their household income, they are also proud contributors in terms of milk supply to Nestle. So when I talk about 100,000 farmers, I'm talking about 78,000 of them being women farmers. So I think a lot of empowerment, a lot of economic contribution, and everything that we wish for today was started many decades ago by my predecessors at Nestle to develop the community, and that is something that we are extremely proud of too.
What technical assistance, Mr. Narayanan, do you give to the farmers?
A very good question, Preeti. Nestle's heritage is milk and nutrition. We are a 155-year-old company, and our birth was in milk and milk products. So therefore, we are globally one of the largest processors of milk, and I think milk has been in our bloodstream for a long time. For us, milk and the quality of milk is absolutely essential in every pack that we produce and sell. Did you know that every pack of Nestle A+ milk goes through 61 quality checks? 61 quality checks. We go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. This means commitment. This means technology. Even today, in the pandemic, Moga right. Factory, Moga farmers operate as if nothing has happened. I think that is testimony to the kind of commitment both of technology and of partnership that has been put together.
Understanding India's changing lifestyle and looking at the varying consumer needs of our country has been the bulwark and the component of the growth of Nestle. On the other side, we're going to delve a little bit deeper on the social conscience of this brand. Stay with us. Welcome back to our very special show commemorating the 20th World Milk Day. And as India and the rest of the world struggle through a debilitating, crippling pandemic, Nestle as a brand is continuing to provide services in as safe a way as possible to its customers.
During this pandemic, Nestle India has stood strong in its fight against COVID-19. It has revived its production units in order to reach out to its customers while maintaining all necessary precautions to ensure topmost product quality and hygiene. All its factories are strictly adhering to the norms of social distancing, foolproof sanitization, staggered employee strength, hygienic testing standards, and reduced footfall at the filling, assembly, and dispatch lines.
Each batch produced at Moga undergo a series of checks like sensory evaluation, sealing, coding. All the batches produced yesterday are compliant as per the Nestle and regulatory requirement. Under these tough conditions, we are able to supply your Nestle products to the market.
Even in these testing times, Nestle is relentlessly doing its bit to reach its consumers wherever they are.
Today we are in conversation with Mr. Suresh Narayanan, Chairman and Managing Director, Nestle India Limited. He's taking our questions, and now I want to ask him a bit more about brand consciousness. Mr. Narayanan, you know, Nestle's dairy portfolio seems to have evolved, of course, over the last decades that we've seen it go. How have you based it on consumer needs?
Well, milk is an essential part of nutrition. So therefore, it is an essential element. We are a country where milk is not just seen as a source of nutrition, it has also got enormous cultural and religious significance to us. So what we have done is we have had a platform that has worked on three principles that are completely inviolable. Number one, quality of milk. We are a company that has a fetish for the quality of milk, and we will ensure that every single drop that we give the consumer is of the highest quality. Number one. Number two, using milk and milk derivatives, we have evolved numerous products in the nutrition space that is also helping consumers getting a better quality of nutrition that they can afford, and that indeed they are entitled to as consumers in our country. Number three, as a result of development of the ecosystem, it has also led to a lot of prosperity around the state, and I believe that this also has led to the fueling of demand for different consumer goods as farmers and as people in the area start to get higher incomes. They also spend on consumer products other than Nestle products, but definitely I think there has been a contribution strongly to that as well. So, and plus, of course, as a result of all this,
right,
there is a strong revenue contribution. There is also a strong contribution to the exchequer. Each year, Nestle contributes almost 36 billion rupees to the exchequer. So all this is as a result of economic activity and of growth.
Mr. Narayanan, the pandemic is extracting the heaviest price. We've seen the kind of collateral to various economies. So my question is, how is Nestle supporting the community attached to Nestle?
Very good question, Preeti. For me, there are three P's which are extremely important. People, protecting my people, ensuring that they are safe and secure. That is number one priority. Number two is purpose and values. Nestle has strongly lived by its purpose and values of respect, respecting each other, respecting ourselves, respecting diversity, and respecting every single element that makes for the future of this country. Number three, partnerships. As I told you, it is not just 100,000 farmers in the Punjab. We are amongst the top 5 procurers of wheat flour in this country. There are numerous wheat farmers whom also we work through the wheat flour millers. They are being supported today. We have got numerous suppliers. Many of them are MSMEs. And today, the fear that we have is that if we allow them to go, then unfortunately, the MSMEs can be in very, very serious trouble. So we have taken a pledge, starting from me in Nestle. Like a banyan tree, we will protect every single supplier and every single vendor who's working with Nestle. We have helped them in the pandemic to start their operations, get the permissions, help them with training and online and practice training on safety, on hygiene, and on social distancing. Help them get back on their feet through getting orders in advance, through getting payments on time, through getting advance payments, through helping them in whatever manner we can. The commitment that I would like to live to, Preeti, if God is with me, is to ensure that no single partner, no single MSME, no single supplier goes under. And I think that is the responsibility of large corporates, not just to take care of ourselves, but to ensure that there is a corporate compassion towards every single supplier and vendor and partner who's working with you.
Well, let's hope you continue to do so and you're enabled, importantly, to do so. But I want to bring your focus, Mr. Narayanan, back on World Milk Day. What can we do, because we are celebrating World Milk Day now, to actually better the livelihoods of our dairy farmers?
I think dairy and milk. I mean, we are the world's largest producer of milk. So I think in every sense of the term, there has been enormous progress that has been made in this country thanks to various agencies. And thanks to numerous efforts to get milk to where it is. But the fact of the matter is that there is still a lot of, at least 2 or 3 areas where we have scope. Number one is to improve the levels of technology infusion, to improve the levels of quality infusion, and to improve the level of scientific temper into dairy farming. I think that is an important element. Number 2, promotion of dairy products. I think it is very, very important, both from a consumption perspective and also from a fiscal perspective. If you are able to help dairy farmers through products that the milk produces to be also incentivized and to be also promoted, I think dairy will stand in good stead. Third, we have got an agricultural practice where farmers are growing largely based on cash crops. Preeti, that silage and fodder are important elements in dairy farming. So if you are able to encourage silage and fodder development and fodder growth as an intrinsic part of the contribution that farmers make to the food chain in the country, I think it'll benefit a lot because this way proper food and proper nutrition will be available to the milch cattle, and as a result of these 3 measures, I believe that we can have a bright future for the dairy industry in this country.
Thank you, Mr. Narayanan, for taking us through the most enriching journey of the most trusted brand. With that, it's goodbye, but I do leave our viewers with the most endearing, indelible images of a 100-year legacy of brand Nestle.
Tarlochan Singh has been in the dairy business for the last 14 years. He has transitioned from hand milking to using machines.
2006 में डॉक्टर बांसल जी हमारे पास आए, उन्होंने हमको गाइड किया नेस्ले के डॉक्टर से कि ये काम करने से हमारी इनकम में बढ़ोतरी हुई। पहले जैसे 2-4 गायें थी, उसके बाद अब 125 गायें हैं हमारे पास। उसके बाद हमने घर भी अच्छा बना लिया, गाड़ी भी ले लिया है।
Over time, Tarlochan Singh's son Jaskaran Singh joined him in his business and led its expansion.
नेस्ले के साथ होने का यही फायदा है कि हमको हर पॉइंट पर हर चीज की गाइडलाइन देते हैं।
Nestle cares for its farmer community, including women, by ensuring a viable future for their families.
नेस्ले के एम्प्लॉयर्स भी आते हैं जो हमारे यहाँ सेमिनार्स करते हैं। विलेज विमेन डेयरी डेवलपमेंट के काम में उनके जो इशू है वो डिस्कस करते हैं इन्हां इशूज़ बारे, ताकि ਜਿਹੜੇ रूरल एरिया ਦੀਆਂ ਵੀਮਨ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਜਾਗਰੂਕ ਹੋ ਸਕਣ, ਆਪਣੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਣ ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਡੀਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ।
जो डॉक्टर भी जितने भी हैं बहुत अच्छा संबंध रहा है, बहुत परिवार की तरह समझाते रहे बच्चों को, परिवार की तरह सानू हरेक चीज़ दसते रहे, हरेक सहूलत मिलती रही उन्होंने तो।
Tarlochan Singh and his family is just one example of the trusted and honest partnership Nestle has built with over 1 lakh farmers across the country over many years. Now, even during these unprecedented times of a global pandemic, Nestle has stood strong beside its farmer community, supporting them at every step of the way. This is how Nestle is constantly enhancing quality of lives and contributing to a healthier future.
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਆਦਾਬ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ। ਅਸੀਂ ਨੈਸਲੇ ਡੇਅਰੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਦੌਲਤ ਅੱਜ ਕਰੋਨਾ ਵਰਗੀ ਮਹਾਮਾਰੀ ਫੈਲਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਸਾਡਾ ਜੋ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਘਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਦੁੱਧ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਚੱਕਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਨੈਸਲੇ ਡੇਅਰੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਚੱਕ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦੱਸਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਜੋ 1 ਮੀਟਰ ਦਾ ਫਾਸਲਾ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੜਾ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਚੱਕਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ।
1.5 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੈਸਲੇ ਦੀ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਲਈ ਹੈ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਰਫਿਊ ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਕਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਪੇਮੈਂਟ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਸਹੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਚੱਕਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਸਹੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ फीड मुहैया करवाई जाती है।
मैं पिछले 25 वर्षों से नेस्ले के साथ काम कर रहा हूँ। नेस्ले का रोहतक में मिल्क कलेक्शन का सेंटर है, जहाँ से हम गांव-गांव से फार्मर्स का दूध इकट्ठा करके नेस्ले को सप्लाई करते हैं। नेस्ले की दी हुई सपोर्ट और गाइडलाइन के अनुसार ही हम फील्ड में सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का, सेफ्टी का और हाइजीन का पूर्ण रूप से ध्यान रखते हैं। इस कोरोना महाबीमारी के समय पर नेस्ले ने सभी फार्मर्स का साथ एक पल के लिए भी नहीं छोड़ा। सभी फार्मर की दूध की सप्लाई और दूध की पेमेंट समय पर मिलती रही।
For over 100 years in
Everyone, Preeti Chaudhury here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.